Hello everyone, my name is Amit HL. I am co-founder of Floater, a personal finance management company which offers services related to personal finance starting from expense management, financial goal planning, retirement planning, investment across mutual funds, NPAs, bonds, gold, then health insurance, life insurance, which ensures your risks are also covered, and the tax compliance by way of tax management, tax planning, tax filing. So today's topic will be corporate NPS, and we'll be learning about various aspects of tax saving that applies to corporate NPS and why it is considered as a tax haven for salaried professionals. So to begin with, let's take a look at different unique proposition of corporate NPS. First one is in corporate NPS, 7.5 lakhs of income can be claimed as exemptions, which means we can save income tax of roughly about 2.25 lakhs in this. Then this exemptions is allowed under both old tax regime and new tax regime, which also is one of the most unique proposition of corporate NPS. When it comes to the maturity of NPS, then all the growth, all the interest that you generate from the investment comes under zero capital gain tax. So you will not be paying any tax on those gains also. Talking about the returns from NPS based on the past 10, 12 years of history, the growth that has been achieved in NPS is in the range of 11 to 12% per annum on average. And remember, NPS does not offer any fixed income, fixed returns, but this is a market-based return similar to mutual fund. And the last one is that once you are part of the corporate NPS system and you are investing on a regular basis, this will also ensure that you are accumulating large amount of corpus, which will be giving you a short pension after retirement. With this, let's jump into a bit of data which has been published in the last couple of years, and this clearly states that there is, I mean, real need for individuals to plan for the retirement, because at least in the last 2 years the surveys suggest that people who are retired are not happy. They are not financially ready for taking care of their post retirement financial needs. And this is where, when NPS was offered as a corporate model, then private sector companies got a role to play by way of introducing NPS for their employees and ensuring that they save taxes, plus they are also investing for their retirement. So, looking at high level, what are the various value proposition that that NPS offers? In fact, so in NPS, first of all, it was started by Government of India, and PFRDA is the regulator for NPS. So that of course brings a lot of trust and credibility in the ecosystem. Then, being market linked, the potential of returns generated in NPS is also high, and that's proved by some of the past returns. Then, NPS has a clear guidelines for the fund managers, and they invest under the given guidelines. Plus, as an investor, I have the flexibility to decide between the risk that I want to take and the asset allocation that I want to do. So overall, it ensures that the risk involved in the NPS is low to moderate risk, and within that risk also we are actually achieving a stable market return. And the fourth most important is that it also helps us save income tax upfront, plus save on capital gains also, without, because there is zero tax on capital gains as well. So this four aspect makes it one of the most attractive retirement planning solution and tax saving solution for individuals. Let's understand, if a company wants to introduce corporate NPS in their company, then what are the value prop for the company? First thing is that the cost impact on the company is not there, because CTC of the employees does not change. Operational wise also, operation point of view also, there is zero cost, and the contribution that is done for NPS in employees account comes as exemption through section 36(1). So as a company, it does not make any difference in terms of the cost. Second one, coming to the obligation and compliance. So for NPS, if company has introduced for employees, they don't really have to do any kind of filing or reporting to PFRDA or any authority. So that way also it's pretty simple for a company to introduce and manage corporate NPS. Coming to the operation side, so as a company, you also receive a self-service portal which helps you understand who are your employees enrolled for corporate NPS. You can also download various type of MIS and data. And as a monthly activity, it's a one-time activity every month when you are processing your payroll, because you have to just prepare the contribution detail of all the employees for whom you are contributing to NPS and do the fund remittance. So it's maybe half an hour job on a monthly basis along with your other payroll activities. One intangible benefit that company gains is that you are you are indirectly inculcating the habit of investing for retirement, and which is the core idea of NPS, that this should ensure that people who retire after 15-20 years, they are really ready financially for retirement. So that is one. And the second one is, obviously, as a company, you will be helping your employees to save income tax, which otherwise is not possible. Let us understand how the tax saving works. So we talked about 7.5 lakhs of income can be exempt, right? So let's understand how NPS offers us tax benefit. So if we look at old tax regime, then tax saving on NPS can be claimed under three different sections of income tax. The first one is under section 80 CCD1. Now, this section is clubbed along with the 1.5 lakhs limit, which we know about, right, under 80C, which means if someone's 1.5 lakhs under 80C is not consumed by way of other investment, like example, PF, insurance, PPF, right? And let's say 30,000 rupees is still not claimed by all those investments, then that additional amount can be invested in NPS and claimed under same 1.5 lakhs of exempt umbrella. If this 1.5 lakhs has exhausted for someone, then there is a provision to invest another 50,000, and you will be able to claim this as exemptions under a different subsection called 80 CCD 1B, which means I will be able to claim self investment in NPS under 80 CCD 1 as well as 80 CCD 1B. So total maximum can be 2 lakhs rupees. This too is when I am personally investing in NPS. For this, your company does not play any role. Now, where does company play a role is when it comes to the third section, which is 80 CCD 2. In this, what happens? Your company should be offering corporate model of NPS, and you should be impaneled with your company for NPS, and you should have given consent to your company that you want corporate NPS investment. So here you can opt to invest 10% of your basic salary in NPS by way of corporate investment, and this full amount will be tax exempt. Now imagine if your monthly take home includes 1 lakh rupees of basic. That means on a monthly basis, 10,000 maximum you can invest through corporate model, and in a year it is 1.2 lakhs rupees. Now this full 1.2 lakhs rupees is exempt for you. So overall, if you look at old tax regime, you will be able to claim all the three exemptions, two by way of your self investment and the last one by way of your corporate investment. Now, is there any kind of upper limit when it comes to the corporate NPS, that is 10% of basic, right? Now, yes, there is an upper limit, and that upper limit is 7.5 lakhs. That means 10% of basic can be any amount, but your employer PF contribution plus corporate NPS contribution together should be within 7.5 lakhs of upper cap, which means that if your company is offering 12% standard PF contribution and you opt for 10% of corporate NPS contribution, that means 22% of your basic, correct? That means you will reach 7.5 lakhs of upper cap if your basic salary is about 34-35 lakhs rupees, which translates to a CTC of roughly about 70 lakhs, which is still a very substantial high limit. But if your company offers only 1800 rupees upper capped PF, then you have roughly about 7.3 lakhs limit left for your corporate NPS contribution, right? So that's how it works. Now, this we understood for old tax regime. Now, what happens really when you are actually in a new tax regime? Can you claim all those three? That's the question. Now, unfortunately, self-investment in NPS does not give you any exemptions under the new tax regime. However, the corporate NPS contribution is still exempted even in the new tax regime. So this actually makes it very unique, because irrespective of which regime you have chosen, you will be able to benefit from this section of 80CCD2. And this also, in fact, should motivate a company that they should introduce corporate NPS in their company, because they will be literally helping each and every employee who wants to save taxes or who wants to invest for their retirement. So this is all about your investment which is tax exempted. Now let's see the maturity part. We already spoke about all the profit or growth that is generated on this investment is going to have zero taxation, because you will be paying zero capital gain tax on that profit. What happens to the performance of NPS? So we talked about that NPS is a market link product. So it's important to understand that how much interest or how much growth can we generate in NPS. So let's look at the history of last 10 years. What does it suggest? That the equity portion of NPS has been giving a return of roughly about 14.2% per annum. Corporate bond has been giving a return of about 9.1% annually. And when it comes to the government bond, it has been again giving a return of around 9 plus. Now, how does it compare with the benchmark? Because it's good to see profit in a standalone version, but you should always see that how it is performing in comparison to the benchmark. Now, this is how the benchmark has been performing. Equity benchmark has been 14.47, corporate bond has been about 9.3, government bond has been around 8.76. So if you see, each one of the three NPS investment has been either better than the benchmark or on par with the benchmark. So if we see asset allocation by way of 75% equity and 25% in bond, then the average return will look like about 11 to 12% in the last 10 years, which is a very handsome return if you look at the tax saving that you have already done on these investments. Now let's come to the implementation of corporate NPS in a company. How can it be done? So typical way of doing it is making it part of your flexi benefit. Uh, that means it will become part of your flexi, one of the component in flexi basket. So for example, if this is how a standard salary structure looks like, which is a flat, everything is under special allowance, and you get an option to have these components under flexi basket. So as you can see, your corporate NPS also becomes part of the same basket, and you can opt for corporate NPS also based on whatever is your preference, similar to how you're declaring for other components. So once you do this, this is how your effective salary structure will look like, where special allowance has been split into FB reimbursable component and your corporate NPS. So this 75,000 in a year directly goes to your NPS, and this also offers you tax exemptions under the 80CCD2, which we learnt about. Okay, you have understood about how corporate NPS gives you benefit, how it can be implemented in a company, but let's understand what needs to be done by a company to actually introduce this for employees. The first thing is that corporate needs to sign up or register as a corporate NPS provider. For that, it's a basic KYC documentation which is done with the help of certificate of incorporation, PAN card, and GST number. And along with that, we'll file an application, and then you will be getting a unique code for the company along with the self-service portal credentials. And after this unique code has been generated, employees can start onboarding under the NPS. Now, this unique code generation, it's very simple. It takes less than 1 week. It takes roughly about 3 to 5 days to get your code generated and roll it out to your employees. When it comes to the rollout process, what needs to be done? So your code has been generated. Now you go to the next step of employee rollout. In this, what happens? NPS rollout requires some level of education and awareness to the employees, right? Because unless your employees understand the benefit and the value prop of NPS, it's going to be very difficult for them to decide whether they want this or not. Because ultimately, NPS is a voluntary program. All your employees may not want to opt for it, but to help them decide, these awareness programs are conducted by us. And in this program, we'll help them understand end to end about the product and the tax exemption that is possible in NPS. Once this is done, employees can start signing up for NPS. And when they create their new account, they also select the company name under which they are mapping their NPS account. And if someone already has an NPS account, then there is something called PRAN shifting. In that, what happens? They will map the same existing NPS account to the company. And this can also be applied on our mobile app, similar to NPS new registration. And the last step is that once you have X number of employees, let's say 10 employees have started already onboarded under your company, then next month payroll cycle, you can start contributing for those accounts. Now, another important part is that if you are, let's say, introducing corporate NPS in middle of the financial year, and let's say 6 months salary has already been paid, only 6 months salaries are remaining. Now you can still offer employees to contribute for the full year, just that the amount applicable for the full year will be invested only through the next 6 months itself. So if the employees are employed with you for the full 12 months, you can go ahead and help them contribute for the full 12 months also, even though you are bringing it for employees in the middle of the financial year. Right. So that's all about NPS, corporate NPS, and the tax benefit part of it. Now, one final thing, is NPS and corporate NPS different? So actually, they are not different. NPS account remains same, just that when you are under the corporate model, your company is also authorized to invest in your NPS account. But if you are not mapped to your company and you just remain as an individual NPS account holder, then company cannot invest in your account. So corporate NPS just means that your account is mapped to the company so that it enables investment by your company also. Now, if you leave the company, what happens? Once you leave the company, you get the option to detach your NPS account, which was mapped to the company. And once you detach it, your account becomes individual account, and you still operate it in the same way, because every fact flexibility is still in your hand, and you can continue investing on your own and claim the benefit under those ATCCD1 and ATCCD1B. If you're joining another company where again you want to be part of the corporate NPS, then you will approach your new company and request for shifting your PRAN or mapping your PRAN to the new company. If once that is done, your new company can also start contributing to your NPS account. Now, as Floater, what are the things that can be done on our mobile app? So we start with planning first. So as a company, we totally focus towards planning and then taking steps towards investment. So we have a very comprehensive advanced retirement planner which you can utilize, and then you can go for creating your NPS account. You can apply for shifting in the sense you want to map it to the company, and then you can invest. The personal investment can be done through the app itself, plus on a regular basis you can actually track your NPS portfolio, because NAV is declared every day. And whenever you are investing, your NPS account in the app will be updated in T plus 3 days. So that means if you are investing today, after 2 or 3 days, that amount will reflect in your NPS account on the app. Yeah, that's all about it. So I hope this session was useful for you. For any queries about NPS or corporate NPS, you can write to us on the given email ID and the phone number also, which is available on WhatsApp. Thank you very much.